This is Diego Cordovez.
Adam Schoenfeld.
Welcome to The Scoop, brought to you by Philtel Poker.
Another hit.
And today we have a real special guest, David Williams, who's he burst on the scene, finishing as a runner-up in the main event to Greg Raymer. But then since then, he's won a number of tournaments. He won a bracelet at the World Series.
It's been 5 or 6 years, and he's been holding steady as a
and I think
performer.
Even more importantly, there are a lot of guys, they play poker on the computer all day, or they just, reset the numbers. He's a real star. He enjoys living life. He's out there and very well known outside the poker community and represents the poker community very well. So
legitimate star.
Interesting guy. I mean, we're shooting this at the WPT Championship down to 10 players, and you're one of the chip leaders. So since it's going to air after, you can make your prediction on the record right now about victory or how you're going to take these guys down.
It'll be embarrassing. I mean, maybe if I say I'm going to win, you guys don't show it if I don't. But I really, it's not like something that's common. I don't sit here and feel like I'm going to win. But like, I've gotten a lot into learning how to be peaceful and meditating with my mindset coach, and I see myself winning this tournament. I mean, I have this just vision of how it's going to go down at the end, and me sitting here holding up the money in this cheesy pose. But I really, when I see that when I go to sleep at night these past few days, so I mean, I feel very confident.
It's never cheesy when there's millions of dollars in your hands. That's okay.
Yeah.
But it's not just that you're convincing yourself to visualize this. You actually just naturally feel very confident about it.
It's weird. I mean, I haven't felt this way, and I know everybody should feel they're going to win it when they go in. People say that, yeah, whatever. But I mean, it's like I predict the future. I see my stuff winning it, and every time I've lost a pot, I haven't. It's like it doesn't matter, and sure enough, I climb right back up. I mean, things just keep breaking my way. Everything's falling my way. I haven't gotten cooler. It's amazing.
You were mentioning that you feel very calm and you haven't had any tilt issues even when you're upset with a hand.
This is the most peaceful and calm I've ever been in a tournament. It's the most focused I've ever been. The weirdest part about it is I was telling my friend last night, it's almost like usually when I'm in a tournament, my mind is in 7 million different places. I mean, most of my focus is on the tournament. I'm thinking about bills to pay or what's going on at home or what I'm going to do tonight or just other thoughts are running through my head. And it's almost, I feel like a poker zombie in this tournament. Like, when I'm there, I don't realize until the day is over. I'm like, wow, I haven't had a thought today other than poker. I mean, I put my phones away. My mind has been 100% clear. And it's the most focused I think I've ever been in my life. And it's really weird, but I mean, it's working. So hopefully, I can keep it going from this tournament into the next.
It's interesting because you're definitely well known for having a life outside of poker. And you enjoy going out and having fun. But besides that, you have other interests, other intellectual interests, and you still even play Magic and other stuff. Do you feel that in the past, when you've been playing poker sometimes, you actually have not been 100% concentrated the way you should be?
For sure. I mean, for sure. Who can say that, though? Everybody has off days. But I just think
degrees.
Overall, recently, I think my focus hasn't been 100%. And it was easier. Poker was easier 5 years ago to where I didn't have to give 100% to succeed. But now everybody's getting better. The players are tougher. I mean, people are trickier. To stay up on it, now I personally have to give 100% to do it, and I have been giving 100%, and I'm seeing things way more clearly. I mean, it's awesome.
Your poker career has coincided almost exactly with this steep rise in skill level. It's funny, you burst onto the scene, and because when we first started, it was super easy. Like, tons of bad players.
When I first started, it was really easy.
But in events, especially like this World Poker Tour Championship, there aren't many bad players. Has that been your experience?
I mean, I've been looking around, and pretty much everybody, there's only maybe 1 or 2 players who even aren't that bad, but in general, it's not like it was, like the Mohegan Sun event I cashed a few weeks ago there. They had like 716 players, and there was players on day one at one of my tables who just had no clue what was going on, and it felt like I was back in 2005. And I was like, wow, this is amazing. I just run these guys over, and I just ran them over up to 200,000 from nothing.
Right. They're like, take it, David. Take it, David.
But here, I mean, you have to earn your pots. I mean, it's funny because Daniel keeps writing his blogs about how poker's different and it's a new game, and he's right. I mean, it's really a totally different game than it is before.
I mean, speaking to that, they show you're bursting onto the scene a lot on ESPN. Even now, in the 2004 main event, you were the runner-up to Greg Raymer. That's where people first saw you. And people may not realize that you really had just begun to play poker. I mean, you were...
Well, not poker, but no limit in tournaments specifically. No limit. I'd been playing like Limit Hold'em for like 6-7 years before that, but that was...
But this type of tournament, this kind of level...
That was my first thing, first delve into it. I didn't know what was going on.
Do you look back... I mean, I don't know if you ever watch those again or just remember, but do you look back and just think, what was I doing? Just because now you've progressed and had so much more experience.
I can't even fathom I can't remember, to be honest, that tournament. I don't know how I made it that far, what I was thinking. I have no idea how it happened. I mean, it really feels like a dream. I mean, I think about what I knew then compared to now. I'm like, I didn't even know how to play poker, really. No limit
Right,
tournaments.
that's what I
Like,
mean.
how did that even happen? I mean, but I have no memory of it. Like, super, it's not like I got super lucky. I remember times where I was down and I think I just made the right moves at the right time. My timing was just perfect that event because I have no clue how I made it.
One of the advantages of being inexperienced sometimes is that you're totally fearless. Have you found in the intervening years that there have been situations where the enormity of the situation has dawned on you and that's affected you? Because in that tournament, I remember you being fearless.
No, I guess that's a benefit. I think that's why I has a burst of success afterwards, because I still didn't have any fear. I mean, I still don't have any, and I haven't had any. I mean, and I think maybe that didn't have any fear then because I was so fresh, and then that barrage of success there and right after just kind of made me realize that there's no reason to be afraid. And maybe I should have had some fear recently, but I just haven't. I mean, it's just been, I just take it as it is. It's just a poker game at the end of the day.
I mean, my experience with you has been that you always have been fearless, but there may be some plays that you made then, not even realizing how aggressive they were or how unorthodox they were, and they worked for that reason, and people aren't familiar with you, so that's a huge advantage when they don't know, they don't know your style, or they don't know what kind of plays you're capable of making. They're giving you credit at times when they shouldn't. So.
Yeah, I mean, being unknown is huge. Like, now I have to put a lot of thought into when I make a move like that because I know that everyone loves to call me. I mean,
right. They've seen you on TV. They know that you're, an aggressive player and a risky player.
It's weird. It's like almost like I was kind of the forefather of the aggressive young kids. I was one of the first ones, even though I didn't invent it. It was just accidental. But, I mean, I was kind of doing the things a lot of players do now by accident then, and now it's, now you have to start thinking of what people know and what they think about you, and it's a totally more advanced game.
And you have you're in the position where people have seen you on TV and they may have seen just a small slice of your game, so they might have some preconceived notions, but you have to be aware of what those are. Right.
No, I was just saying in another interview that, like, someone said I seem to do well in smaller field, higher buying events, and I was like, yeah, because I think I'm good at figuring out what the advanced players think about me and what they're going to do in response to that and kind of come up with a plan, whereas when I play in the normal tournament with players I have no clue, I can't really figure out, do they know this about me, do they think that, I can't really figure out how to adjust my style to them, and then they end up getting.
And you can level yourself into.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
You could think this guy is thinking I have this, and this. He may not even know who you are for that matter. He may just think you're some guy who walked in, and you're at like a third or fourth level.
It's a lot easier. I feel not easier to play poker against good players, but a lot easier for me to figure out where I am and adjust and play accordingly.
Especially now with your new hair, people might not even know who you are.
Right.
Yeah, that was at the Commerce 10,000. That's the best story ever. It's really quick. And it was like my first time kind of back, people seeing me because there had been a break in January and my hair was starting to grow out. And I sit next to this guy, and he was very active, this young kid, raising a lot of pots. And I was semi-short, and he raised late position. I 3-bet him, kind of standard. I felt he was opening wide, and he folded. About an hour goes by, the same situation comes up, and I 3-bet him again. He folds. So I do this 3 times. On the 4th time, as I do it, action's coming back around. Someone on the rail just leans over mid-hand and goes, Mr. Williams, can you sign this? And they have this book. So the guy looks over, because the action's back on him, and looks at this book and sees the second Daniel's book and sees I was signing. He goes, what's this guy? What's your name? And I ignored him and signed. And then the person goes, it's David Williams. You don't know this David Williams? And then the guy just moved all in.
All right.
And I was thinking, what the hell? How does this guy ask me this in the middle of the hand? And I had to muck, and I was like, my cover's blown. This is sick. A guy in the middle of the hand just came up and blew my cover.
Yeah, that's just brutal.
Yeah, I mean, rail talk either... It happens online or in the real world.
Life. The guy
be very detrimental.
We were right on the edge, and the guy just leaned over and tapped me mid-hand, asked me to sign, and my opponent looked over, and you could see the look on his face, like, it's you, and just moved in right away.
There are costs and benefits to fame.
It is funny to think that it really could be an advantage for you to be anonymous again, and that maybe some people don't recognize you.
I'll never forget, Carlos told me
on TV.
One day Carlos got busted, and he said, if I could look like him, and he pointed out like this old man, because I won every tournament. I was like,
absolutely.
Yeah, it'd be amazing, you would.
Thanks for joining us on The Scoop, brought to you by Full Tilt Poker. And David Williams has been very interesting. He's in the midst of a big run here in the WPT Championship, but we've got a lot more to talk about. So join us next week. And in the meantime, write to us at thescoop@cardplayer.com.